This is the Chamber Chat Podcast, the show dedicated to chamber professionals to spark ideas and to get actionable tips and strategies to better serve your members and community. Hello, Chamber Champions. Welcome to Chamber Chat Podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Burton, and it's my goal here on the podcast to introduce you to people and ideas to better help you serve your chamber members and your community. Today's guest is a powerhouse, community leadership and economic development, Tania Stephenson. Since 2018, Tania has been at the helm of the Burke County Chamber of Commerce as president and CEO, where she's dedicated herself to strengthening businesses and forging meaningful community connections. Her deep roots in chamber work span back to her early career at the High Point and Laurenburg, Scotland County Chambers. But Tania's commitment to service doesn't stop there. She's spent 6 impactful years as executive director of the Salvation Army Boys and Girls Club in High Point, revitalizing facilities and expanding youth programs and securing stronger financial future for the organization. Tania holds a double major in business administration and home furnishings marketing from High Point University. She's a graduate from the U.S. Chambers Leadership Institute and earned the prestigious CCE designation in 2014. Her leadership has earned accolades like Businesswoman of the Year and 40 Leaders Under 40 and multiple chamber honors. She's a dedicated board member and passionate community advocate. And when she's not leading or serving, you may find her hiking a trail or cross-stitching a new design or enjoying a weekend getaway with her husband, David. Tania, we're excited to have you with us today here on Chamber Chat Podcast. I'd love to give you an opportunity to say hello to all the chamber champions who are out there listening and share something interesting about yourself so we can all get to know you a little better.
Yeah, when I think about things that are interesting about myself, it really goes back to my personal life, and people find this interesting, and I found it interesting. Back a long time ago, we won't tell how many years because I can't tell anybody I'm 29 if I tell my years. My husband and I got married at the North Carolina Zoological Park. It's the largest zoo in the world at this point. And people say, "You got married at the zoo?" And it's like, I'm the only official wedding ever to be held at the zoo. There's a lot of people have gone out to the zoo and they've taken some witnesses and a preacher and gotten married in front of the whatever animals they wanted to. But we actually rented the zoo and got married, had our official big wedding, 350 guests. We were followed by the national press. We had cameras in our face through the process because all all of our local news followed us. And then by the time that we actually got married, it made the national press. So it was a big deal. And everybody, we laugh and joke. And I say this in front of my husband. People say, "Why'd you get married to the zoo?" And the zoo was a very big part of our courting years. And we wanted to get married outside and wanted to find a beautiful place. And back then, wedding venues were not a dime a dozen like they are now. And I called the zoo and said, "Hey, I want to get married out here." And they said, "You know what? We'd love to do that. That'd be a great marketing tool for us." So we tried it, and the marketing team said, "We'll never again do this." So
Yeah,
all these years later, we are the only one that has ever done that. But we have great experiences and beautiful pictures. Great. It's just a great thing to look back on it. And so oh, what I was going to say is I got married there too because all my in-laws were already there. I didn't have to invite them.
Were they in the cages?
They were in the cages, but they were all there. My husband and I joke about that, and he says that we have a good time with it. But it was really a great experience, and I think that says a little bit about me. Is I love the outdoors. I love animals, and I love doing things different. I don't like to do things like everybody else does it, and so that's a little bit about me.
There you go. That's cool. I was going to ask why the zoo and all that, but you covered it pretty well. So I'm glad the in-laws were able to be there. That's important.
They were all there. Yeah, it was great, and it turned
That's
out to
great.
be a beautiful day. It was a hot day in June, but it was great. The worst part was having my poor little best man. The Channel 12's cameras was so close into his face. I was like, bless his heart, he can't even move without the cameras being right there.
Well, tell us a little bit about the Burke County Chamber to kind of set the stage for our discussion today. Help give us an idea of the size, staff, scope of work, budget, things like that, so we know what kind of chamber you're coming from.
Well, I consider us somewhat of a medium-sized chamber. We have 640 members, somewhere around there. People in the chamber world, that changes on a daily
Right.
basis, and we've grown it quite a bit. Since the 7 years I've been here, we were at 450 7 years ago, so we've grown quite a bit through the years, and very proud of that. We are located in the foothills of North Carolina. A lot of people know Hickory and Asheville, and we're somewhat in the center of that, an hour northwest of Charlotte and an hour east of Asheville. So great location, big cities around us, but we're still a small town, and we've got some great amenities here. Just a great place to live and work. We do serve the full county, and it is a big county. It's amazing. It probably would take 2 hours to get from one end of the county to the other. Part of our county is up high elevations, and then part of it is east and lower elevations. So we've got some mountains here. We have 4 full-time employees on staff and 1 contract employee. Our budget's about $500,000, and it's just we continue to grow, and we're excited to be able to serve our community.
Very good. And are you strictly chamber? Are you tourism,
We are
economic
strictly
development? Strictly
we
chamber.
are
Okay.
strictly chamber, which I like being that way. I
It
know
allows you to
lot
focus on that mission. Yeah.
exactly. I know a lot of chambers have to do economic development or tourism, but I'm thankful that we can just focus on our members and not have to try to juggle all those balls. Although I admire the people that do,
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Well, that
but I have great
definitely,
partners.
yeah. Yeah. Well, that definitely does help set the stage. And the Carolinas are such a beautiful part of the country. So it's no wonder you're able to have a thriving chamber there because people want to be there. So,
Number 1 in business, the 3 out of the last 4 years, so we're very thankful for that.
well, our topic for conversation today, we're going to focus most of our discussion around retention. And that's a topic that every chamber out there should be paying attention to and monitoring, as kind of one of those KPIs, to see how your chamber's performing, getting that feedback from your membership, your investors. What is that retention looking like? So we'll dive in deep on this as soon as we get back from this quick break.
Hi, I'm Joe.
And I'm Rose.
And we're the founders of At My Community, a mobile app that can be customized to meet the unique needs of your Chamber of Commerce.
When we started At My Community, we envisioned a tool that would help communities thrive by simplifying communication and enhancing engagement. Chambers of Commerce face unique challenges, and we're here to help you tackle them.
At My Community helps the Evergreen Area Chamber of Commerce to create an app that keeps tourists informed even when their office is closed. They provide 24/7 access to local business information, which helps support the local economy and community engagement.
In Rocky Mountain House, we helped Rocky Chamber create an app with dynamic itineraries and digital resources for tourists, increasing local business engagement. The app has become an essential tool for the community, promoting events and boosting visibility for local merchants.
Today, we empower more than 200 chambers of commerce, campgrounds, and RV resorts to streamline communication, informing members about events, sharing business updates, and providing a digital hub for the community, all in one convenient app.
When you partner with At My Community, our team works closely with you to create an app that meets your chamber's unique needs. As your community grows, our app evolves with you. We are here to ensure you engage effectively with your members and streamline your operations.
Schedule a demo today at atmycommunity.com.
We can't wait to meet you.
Are you ready to take your organization's funding to the next level? Hi, I'm Clint Neesmith, CEO of Resource Development Group. As a Chamber of Commerce or economic development organization leader, I know you understand the value of working with experts who understand your world. And that's exactly what RDG does best. For over 30 years, RDG has specialized in fundraising for EDOs and chambers. We bring cutting-edge strategies tailored to your organization, whether you're just starting out or gearing up for yet another new funding cycle. Importantly, our firm executives are hands-on from start to finish, from the feasibility study to the successful conclusion of your fundraising campaign, and our team brings deep industry roots and national expertise to every engagement. No matter the size of your community, RDG delivers data-driven, innovative revenue solutions, reinforcing ROI to investors and making sure your vision becomes reality. At RDG, we proudly build organizations that build communities. Visit us today at rdgfundraising.com and let us partner with you, building a stronger future for your organization and the community you are working to grow and develop.
All right, Tania, we're back. As I mentioned, so before the break, we're diving in today on the topic of retention. I'm sure you have a unique approach. Every chamber looks at different metrics, so, a little differently. But as you look at retention, what is it that you guys really hone in on? And what's your approach that makes you maybe stand out as a chamber, highlight your wins, and help members stick around for the long term?
Yeah, a lot of it, I don't know if it's unique. I think for me, it's spending the time with our members and spending one-on-one time and making sure our members feel like they are as important as any other member. And that's real important to me. I know in the chamber world, I've heard a lot of my colleagues talk about how they spend a lot of time with their big fish. And I've sat through so many seminars, webinars, trainings on how important it is for us to spend time with the big fish. And I know a lot of people believe that. And I do make sure that they feel appreciated. But for me in this chamber and in any chamber that I've led, it's always been about every member is important and every member needs to feel like they are a big fish to us. And so we spend a lot of one-on-one time, and I know sometimes it doesn't make sense in the budget world, but at the same time, in the world of what our members say about us and how they're talking about us in the community makes a big difference. And so there's a lot of things that we take time to do that some of you listening may say she has lost her mind, but maybe I have. It has worked
That's
for us,
okay. It takes a special person to lead a
it takes
chamber. So, yeah.
it does. So here I am, and our retention rates have really shown it over the years, and we've had extremely great retention. So some of the process that we go through is when a member joins, the day that they join or the day after, they get a handwritten thank you note sent from me, and welcoming them to the chamber family and being a part of what we do, and know that you have a team of 4 now that you didn't have before. Our membership person and our director of operations person, they personally meet with every new member and sit down with them and find out about their company and what they're doing and where they need help and where they're struggling. And we always ask the question, what keeps you up at night? Because we know that what keeps them up at night is what we can do for them and hopefully help them in those ways. Our membership person sends a welcome email, and in that welcome email, it explains all the digital tools that they have that they can sign on into our member portal, and that they can put all the information in there. If they have any problems, she sits down with them and walks them through it. There's a welcome post on all of our social media that goes up within the next few days that they have joined, and that member post tells about their company. It thanks them for being a part of the community. It has their logo in there. It has a link to their website and, of course, tagging them on that site as well. So then when it comes to 3 months that they've been a member, our membership person calls them and checks in on them, sees what's going on, how are things going. At 6 months, our board member calls them and checks on them and see how they're doing and what we can do for them. And then at 9 months, they get another call and just checking in. When they renew, they always get posts out on our social media so that they can know that not just them joining means a lot, but them sticking with us means a lot as well, and that we want to continue to give them the promotions that they have. Promotions is really big for us. Most of our members are small businesses that need that promotion. A lot of them, they can't afford big ads and radio. They can't afford big ads on TV. We don't have local TV here, so that's not even an option for our folks. So promotions is big. So we do a lot of promotions through one thing we're doing. Today is Friday. And so T-shirt Friday is something we do, and we promote our members. So today we'll spend most of our entire day out going and talking to our members. The T-shirt we have on is one of our members, and that member gets constant promotions throughout the day. So everywhere we go, we're taking that person with us, and the member will get anywhere from usually about 20 posts today on that one member. And then, of course, that'll be 20 members that will get various shout outs throughout the day and promoting whatever's going on. We always try to be aware of events that are coming up. So, it might be that we'll go to somewhere and say, hey, don't forget they're having this big sale this weekend. Come out and shop. Or the festival's happening this weekend. Come out and see them at the festival. So we're hitting as many people as we can with that, which people love that. And now every time I go into the bank on Fridays, they want their picture taken because they know that that's something we do. And it's like, I
And it'll
can't
get
get y'all
shared.
every Friday, but they
They're working the
bankers love it.
system. They know.
They're working. Yeah, that's right. And so that's something we have a lot of fun with, and it does take a lot of time, but our members love it, and they know that they're being cared for and that they're being promoted. And a lot of them have said, "Hey, I've gotten business. I've gotten a lot of business from that little thing." We feel like it's a little thing. For them, it's big. In addition to that, quarterly, we actually get all of our ambassadors together and we get on a trolley and we go out and visit about 16 members in one day. We take them gifts. We call it Surprise Patrol. And so we get out and we go into a business and we say, surprise, we're all here. And we, usually 10, 15 people showing up to your business on a trolley is sort of shocking. But all the ambassadors will bring a gift from their business to that member. And it's all about saying thank you for your membership and we appreciate you. And we're not asking for on any of these things. We're not asking for money. We're not asking to support anything. We're not reminding them that they owe dues or anything. It's all about we appreciate your membership and appreciate you and want to thank you. And then of course on Surprise Patrol they get gifts as well. So that's always a lot of fun days. And
So about how many members are you guys able to visit on one of those surprise patrol visits?
we get about 16 in a day.
Wow.
So we hit quite a bit. And we're promoting our ambassador members as well. So we got the 16 members that we're visiting, but then, there's 10, 15 members who are our ambassadors who their businesses are getting promoted as well. So, 30, 35 businesses are getting promoted in that day. Um, and it's just a fun day and a great time to show appreciation and remind people that we're here and we're supporting them and helping them any way we can. It's always interesting because after every surprise patrol, I have members say, "Hey, how do I get on that list?" And I was like, "Well, we'll put you on the list for the next time." Um, so it's a lot of fun. Once a year, our ambassadors and our board and the staff all spend a week delivering our new directories. We call that Operation Thank You. It's a program that's been around for a long time in Chambers, but it kind of went away. I've always had worked in Operation Thank You just because I think it's so important. So we have some type of gift that we give. It's a small gift, and it's usually got a corny saying on it. Something like this last year, we gave payday candy bars out, and it said, "Every day's a payday with you as a member of the chamber." So it's cute and corny, but people love it. They love seeing us come because, again, we're not there asking for anything. We're just there to say hello, say thank you. We take pictures throughout the day and post them on our website. Post them on all of our social media sites. So they're continually getting thanked and they're continually getting promoted through these things. And so they're all real important to us. And then in addition, we do all those calls that the staff does and then the board does at 6 months, but our ambassadors are making personal phone calls to our members as well. So the ambassadors are making 5 to 10 phone calls a month on our members just to say, hey, is there anything we can do? Check in on you. What's going on with you? What can we do? And so that's really helpful because a lot of times our ambassadors learn things about our members that we don't know, and that gives us an opportunity to know. And that gives us 25 more people out there calling on members and checking in on them that we can't, 4 people can't get to all of them. And so they're really helpful with that. And then there's little things that we will remember and do that I don't think that is normal in the world of anywhere. But for me, I look at them, our members as customers, if I hear that there's going to be a ball game, make a note and I'll call and say, hey, did little Johnny win his ball game? And that means a lot to them. Or I'll shoot a note and say, hey, I was thinking about you. We do a lot of notes about testing. If you got some kind of medical issue, we have birthdays listed. We send personal birthday cards, handwritten notes. We send sympathy cards. We spend a lot of time on these types of things, and some people might say, well, that's just a waste of time in the business world, but it is not a waste of time. I've had people that like I had one gentleman who said something about he had a knee replacement he had a knee replacement a few years ago, but recently he said, that was the sweetest card I got from y'all. And he's like, it was the best one I got it was from y'all.
Wow.
And he's like, who would have thought that my chamber membership would have gotten me, thoughts during my surgery? And so we really try to watch out for those little things, and we watch social media closely to see that they're posting that they've got issues or concerns. Then we reach out and let them know that we're there to help them and support them throughout whatever that they're going through, or to celebrate with them when it's good stuff. And they remember that we remember those types of things.
Yeah. So with these, with the birthday cards and sympathy cards, I can see how that could get, you know, a little arduous, to try to get all these cards out. So how do you manage that? Is it just, are you focusing on the primary rep for each business, or how deep do you go with, if they've got three or four contacts with their membership? I don't. How do you kind of filter who or how you're able to send those kind of cards to?
We really don't filter. Yeah, we really don't filter. If we know it, we send it, and if they're a member, we don't really filter. And it takes some time, but it's not overwhelming amount of time. And it takes 5 minutes to fill out a card and stick it in the mail. I usually fill it out first and sign it from your Burke County Chamber family, and then write a little personal note from me. But then everybody passes around. They sign a little note, and off it goes. And it brings return on an investment of 10 minutes of time maybe, and 60-cent stamp or however much they are now,
Yeah.
$4 card. I mean,
By
it's
the
really,
time this comes out, the stamps will be more.
well, that's true. Those stamps go up every day, but it really has. And it might seem like it's arduous, but it hasn't been. It hasn't been. It could get that way. I don't know. But and we just try to keep up with it best we can. And when we hear things that we miss, it's like, whoa, we're so sorry that we didn't know that. And people, nobody's ever faulted us for it or anything. So no, there's not really any filter on it. If we know it and we can do something to at least acknowledge and know that for people to know that we care, that we do that.
Yeah. So there's a couple things that you had touched on I wanted to circle back with and just maybe get a little bit more information. So one is with the onboarding of new members. You had talked
Uh-huh.
about different staff members meeting with the new members and kind of doing the orientation, onboarding. Are these members coming to the chamber office? Are they going to visit these businesses at their location? Is it a mixture of both? How do you try to schedule that?
It's a mixture. A lot of people want to come to the office and see our office and meet the whole team, and we're a great location. So a lot of them happen at the chamber, but then a lot of the members say, come see my place and come take a tour or whatever. So it's really a mixture.
That's good.
And for the member meetings, we're tiered dues. So we have bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and titanium. Bronze members, our membership team takes care of it. But if it's silver and above, I'll actually have that member meeting with them as well, just so that they know who I am, and that we all care about. I mean, we want them all to know that we all care about them regardless. But I do take the time to spend time with the silver and
Yeah.
above members when they're
Yeah.
first joining.
No, that's good. So I really liked what you mentioned about T-shirt Fridays and being able to wear a T-shirt of different businesses in your community, different members, and going out and taking pictures and posting them. Do members enroll in that? Do you proactively reach out and say, "Hey, do you want to send us a T-shirt and be included in the next T-shirt Friday?" Or how does that program work?
The only thing we have to do is have a T-shirt Friday, and we end up with more T-shirts.
Right. I can
I don't know how
imagine what
many.
your closet looks like, right?
I have quite a collection.
That's 600 different T-shirts with logos on it, right?
Well, we're not quite there, but yeah, we have quite a collection, that's for sure. So every time we go out, typically I will come back with 4 shirts. And so we don't charge for that, which, we kind of talked about. It's like, we might ought to start charging for this program,
Yeah.
but we have some great events, and we do fine with other things. And so far we've not charged, because that way all size of our members can participate. Nobody feels like that they're really left out. And so we say the only charge for for T-shirt Friday is the cost of 4 T-shirts, and you just provide us your shirts and we'll wear them on that Friday. So we start out that morning, we take a group shot of all of us in our shirts. And what's really cute is sometimes there's stuff on the back. So we have to turn around and have pictures of our backs so that we get the information on there. And our initial post out is the four of us in our shirts, and we tell a little bit about the company, and we give the company's website address and how to get in touch with the people and what their specialties are. And then from there, it's usually individual selfies with our members or the group of members, or sometimes because we really want to catch a lot of people, and sometimes we can't catch them open. So sometimes we might be out by a sign and say, telling about some
Yeah.
company, and sometimes we're on the side of the road taking pictures, and people are looking at us like we're crazy. Recently, we have a new bank who's building a new location, and so recently I stopped at the corner where there's basically like rubbish on, in this big parking lot right now, but they've got a beautiful plan and design that they're getting ready to build. So here I am by the construction fence taking a selfie with the picture of the bank that's coming. And people just looked at me like I was an idiot, or they
Yeah.
blow their horns. And I was like, hi, yeah, it's just me taking a selfie with there
Follow
really
us
is a
on
purpose here.
Facebook, right?
It's like, yes, I might be crazy and do things differently, but here we are taking a picture with the fence. But it was good promotion because a lot of people didn't know that that's what was going on that location, or they hadn't been driven by there to see what the beautiful rendition looks like. And so it's just about promoting what's going on in the membership, and promoting the members and what they're doing and what their services are, what their product is.
Yeah. So the other thing I wanted to ask about is you had mentioned staff and ambassadors going out to deliver your annual directories. You had a name for it,
Operation Thank You.
Operation Thank You. So with Operation Thank You, I mean, you got, I guess, roughly about 30 people going out in the community to make these personal interactions, these personal deliveries. Does that sound about right? About 25
Yeah, about 50
ambassadors and stuff
people. We have 20, between 20 and 25 ambassadors. I have 20 board members,
in the board.
4
Okay.
staff, and then
Yeah.
sometimes we recruit spouses and other people. So usually 50 or 60 people will help us out throughout the week. We do it in half days. We do it in teams of 2 so that it's easier if you drive up to a location and somebody jumps out and delivers and jumps back in. Of course, sometimes we end up sending out 2 salespeople, and they're parking in every parking lot and introducing themselves to every person and having long conversations. And I'm like, guys, you're not getting the goods
Right.
delivered if you're doing that, but
Like I'm multitasking. Yeah.
they're doing their jobs. So, I'm just thankful that they might get 4 delivered in the morning time, but typically you can get 30 to 50 delivered in a morning and again in the afternoon if you get in and get out and keep moving.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I really like that plan, and it's a great way to have for sure, like an annual touch point with each member as you get those delivered and hand delivered. It goes a long ways with the payday bar or whatever that gift is. So that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, when I was back in my day, when I was doing membership and learning the role and learning about chambers and figuring things out, and sometimes in the High Point Chamber that I was at for many years, we were quite a large chamber, and it was hard to get to all of our members and to touch them throughout the year. And so a lot of times they only heard from us was when they got their renewal notice. And I don't know how many times I'd hear it's like, all you want is my money, and you don't really care about it. And even as a membership person, it broke my heart. And I've tried to do my best for that not to be the way it was. And our whole team, we all had a great heart about it, but we had 1,300 members, and there were 6 of us, and still, again, you just can't get to everybody. And as I've learned throughout the years, I really don't ever want a member say that the only time I hear from you is my renewal notice. And if that's the only time they've heard from us, then shame on us. And so that's what and you know my marketing person can say, but look at the hits that they get on our website, regardless if they hear from us. They got these hits on their website. No, I want them to hear from
It's
us.
got
I
to be
want them to
meaningful
know.
to them, right?
Yeah, I want it to be personal for them. their business is very personal, especially our small business owners. Some of our small business owners has their entire life savings wrapped up in that business. And when I say that they are part of the chamber family, when I say that the four of us are part of their team, I want them to feel it and I want them to know it. And I want them to, when they're losing sleep at night, I want them to pick up the phone and say, here's my troubles. And we go to work to try to figure out what those troubles are. If they don't ever see us, they don't ever hear from us, and and if we are nothing but the email that comes in that says, hey, here's your dues, they're not going to do that. And then when they get that email mail from the dues, they say, why do I need to pay this? And I get that because, I mean, money's tight a lot of times. And so I want to give them a reason that they say, I can't afford not to pay this. And that's our goal with every phone call, with every visit, with every post we put out. That's our goal, is for them to know that they need us.
Yeah. Well, I love all these touch points. I love the recognition. I love being able to show the member value to the chamber. These are all, I'm going to call them tactics or strategies, but that kind of cheapens it. I mean, it really is showing that you genuinely care about these individuals, these businesses, and their success. I don't think we can have a discussion about retention without me asking, can you share what your retention rates look like?
We're typically between 92 to 94%. So
Something
we
to celebrate.
typically lose members because they've moved or they've closed. And sometimes I don't know if other chambers are having this, but over the last 5, 7 years, banks, because corporate says they're not going to be a member.
Yeah.
Makes me
Yeah.
so mad.
Or Walmart. We've been seeing that. So
Well,
yeah,
so far, Walmart's a really good member for us, so
that's good.
I hope that I don't see that
Hopefully
from
they hang
them.
on. Yeah. Well, as we begin to wrap up, but I like to see whether it's based on our discussion or any other thoughts for the chambers listening who want to take their organization up to the next level. What kind of tip or strategy would you share with them in trying to accomplish that goal?
One thing that I have always done and is real important to me, and I think your podcast fits right in with this, and I think it's great that we have this as a resource. I've always had a mentor or multiple mentors. I've always found my neighboring chambers and made friends with them and made sure that they're some of my closest friends and colleagues and somebody I can call on. And so, when I moved here, that was the first thing I did was look up my neighboring chambers and introduce myself, except for I had two that was precious and they reached out to me before I could get to them. And I have a neighboring county to the west that she and I call each other our chamber sisters because we just know that we're there for each other. So I think having mentors is very important, talking to other chambers and not just chamber mentors, but I think just having mentors in general, especially if there's something that you're not good at and you see it in somebody else, it's great to spend time with that person and say, hey, can we go to lunch and just learn from that person, watch them. And then I think being a mentor to others is real important. And I know for me, I've taken on several, younger chamber professionals and spent time with them and tried to help them. And every time I've done that with the intentions of me trying to help them and help them learn and grow, I've found that I've learned and grown just
Right.
as much
Yeah, it's
through
helpful.
the process of being a mentor as I have having mentors. So I think that that's just so important. You can learn so much, and especially if you'll learn it with the right attitude and then go back and try to apply things that make sense. Of course, we all hear things and learn things all the time, and it's like, well, that would be great, but there's no way I can put that on my plate, and there's no way but, to be intentional with trying to really, especially in areas where you know that you need to grow, learn and try to grow as much as you can in those areas.
Yeah, I think it's a great piece of advice. I like asking everyone I have on the show as we look to the future of chambers of commerce. How do you see the future of chambers and their purpose going forward?
That's a very interesting topic because I found that during COVID times, we had to really think about chambers and what we were doing and how we did things. And we had to really pivot and change a lot of our ways of thinking to stay relevant. And I think that's so important in the chamber world is that we stay relevant. And I think that there was a time, at least for the chambers that I was working with, that it was maybe hard for us to be relevant, especially when some of technology has taken over a lot of what we traditionally did in the past. And so I think for us to update what we're doing and always look for new ways to do things and new ways to present ourselves and being relevant in the business community and being on top of what the business community needs and individuals need and taking care of those things there's just so important. I think that it's real important that chambers be chambers and work with businesses and know that we are here for our business community. We are a business association. We're not a social group. We are not here to everybody socialize and have a good time, but we are here to grow business and help our businesses in whichever way that they need. Being a voice for the business, our chamber's very active in governmental affairs. So that's one thing that sets us apart is we are yeah, I always say if the business community was a body, stick figures, all I can do, we would be the mouthpiece of that body. And we got to be the mouthpiece for our businesses because we are the group that is going to be standing up for our businesses and making sure that our businesses are heard. And that's what our role is. But always being able to, always looking for ways to change and grow is just real important. And staying relevant, I think, is so important.
I'd be curious how you would label the rest of the body parts, but that's okay. Well, that's a discussion for another time.
I've never really thought about the rest of the body, so I'd have to think about that.
Well, Tania, this has been great having you on the show. I appreciate these tactics, these ideas, these ways of showing your care for your members to really nurture those relationships. I wanted to give you an opportunity to share any contact information for listeners who may want to reach out and connect with you, maybe as a mentor, or just to get ideas of how you're doing things. What would be the best way for them to reach out and connect with you?
Sure, I appreciate the opportunity. First podcast I've done, so hey, this might be a new thing for me. But yes, County Chamber of Commerce. I'll actually give my cell phone number because reaching me at the office is sometimes very hard. My cell phone number is 336-689-5438. And email me at T Stephenson. It's T as in Tanya, Stephenson, Stephen, burkecounty.org. So email me or call me or text me either way. I'm happy to always help out fellow chamber people when I can and talk to fellow chamber people because I love learning from them. So be happy to talk to anyone.
That's perfect. We will get that in our show notes to make it nice and easy. But again, this has been great having you on the show. Thank you for setting aside some time to be with us and share these insights. I think it provided a ton of value for our listeners today. So thank you. Thank you a lot.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
If you are a chamber professional, be sure to subscribe to Chamber Chat Podcast on your favorite podcast app or now on YouTube so you never miss a new episode. New episodes are released each week and delivered right to you. If you're finding value in the podcast, please take a moment to leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen. It really helps others discover the show. And most importantly, share Chamber Chat Podcast with your colleagues in the industry so we can continue to grow and strengthen the chamber community together.